If you, like me, are one of the millions of people who carry a Glock pistol for self-defense, you, like me, may have decided on Glock because of their stellar reputation for out-of-the-box reliability. I think they have a good design and it just works. However, one of the things I don't like about Glock pistols is their factory sights. So I always change out my factory sights to some XS sights, big dot sights. If you've ever done that, you know sometimes it can be a real pain in the neck. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the brand new XS sights inline sight pusher, which not only makes it really, really easy to change your sights out, but it's got some features that I've not seen on any other sight pusher. So we're going to take a look at that coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me in the process of being remodeled studio. So as I said, today we're going to take a look at the XS sight pusher and show, just talk about what I think are some really cool features I've not seen on any other sight pushers. But YouTube doesn't allow me to actually show you installing sights. I can't show you how to modify a gun. They consider changing sights modification, which all it does is make it safer. But anyway, what I'm going to try to do is show you how simple this thing is and explain some of the details about this. And I'll show you the before and after process of the sight changing. So let's see if we can get to doing that. By the way, this video is sponsored by the folks at XS Sights. They sent me these sights. They sent me this pusher, just being straight up front about that, because they're good folks over there. And I've been a fan of XS Sights for a number of years. My friend James Yeager introduced me to them, and I have not looked back since. So without further ado, let's take you down to the old temporary tabletop here. We'll take a look at this sight pusher and these sights. Okay, so here's the XS inline Glock sight pusher. And one thing I want to show you right off the bat is made in the USA, okay, like all XS stuff. And if you've ever used a sight pusher before, you may notice some significant differences between this one and the ones you've used. First of all, this is not a universal sight pusher. This is for Glock pistols. It is designed to fit any stock Glock slide. I can't do it on camera, but I can show you kind of how it works. So basically, you've got this bolt here, and this pusher part that slides in this little groove. You'll notice the pusher part has little lines on it you can use to line up your sight properly and make sure it's equal on both sides. And then it says oil threads. You want to oil these threads periodically, or it says every use, so make sure they're kept nice and lubricated. It's going to make things smoother. And then the way this thing works is really simple. And one of the things I think is cool about it, it's kind of innovative. It's got this little wedge here, which you'll see how that works in just a minute. So the way you do this is you put your slide in with your rear sight lined up with the center of this pusher. And the wedge has got a little slot on the bottom here, a little tab. It slides in this little slot right here, a little slot there. So line that up like so. Put the wedge in place like so, in the little slot. And then you just line it up and push it in, and that's it. And then you simply tighten this, and it comes with this little Allen wrench to get it. This is the DIY version. There's a gunsmith version that's got a little bit different handle on it, but it's the same tool. And then you just wait till that contacts, make sure it's even. And you start screwing and just push the old sight out. Installing the new sight is just the reverse of that. You just back this thing back out, back your bolt back out, far enough to where you can get your new sight started in the slide. You pull your slide out, start your new sight in the dovetail, put it back in the tool, get it lined up, and then you just reverse it and push your new sight back in place. It's really is that simple. But a couple things I think are really cool about this is, if you've ever done this before, you know, it's like, for me anyway, I'm trying to look at this thing to see, okay, is the sight even? Because if it's not lined up properly, then it'll mess up your windage, right, your aim. So what's cool about this is, this particular tool, turn it that way, Brian, is you can test that by putting this all the way up, putting your slide all the way up against the sight block, and see where it lines up on the scale here. And this is almost to the first or second big mark or dark mark. So then when you just turn it around, line it up again, put your wedge in, and see where it lines up, and it's almost to the big mark. So this factory sight was centered. But that allows you to center your new sight just the same. So, and then it also comes with we have a little better tool to remove your front sight. So we got that. The XS DXW2 night sights that I'm going to install here come like this. They'll come in a package. They'll have the rear sight, the front sight, a piece of a little aluminum sight tool, and a little tube of Loctite. And a couple of hints about installing these, because again, I can't really show you on this on camera, but when you do install the front sight, it's a really tiny tool, so you don't need to crank it down tight. Basically, you just barely get it where it's just snug it with your hand, you're done. And then the Loctite actually is what holds it in place, because if you get it too tight, that screw can break, and you won't know it because the sight will be there because of the Loctite. But eventually, like if, I don't know, if you're at a fighting pistol class at Tactical Response and you look down, your front sight could be gone. Don't ask me how I know that. So anyway, I talked to the folks at XS Sights about that, and they said to make sure you don't get it too tight. So there's that. Now, let me see if I can show you this sight picture. I don't know if you can see it or not, but a traditional sight like this square notch sight, it basically has a notch like this, and you put your front post in between it like that, and you line them up. And this is a hound dog way of showing you, but you get the point. You know how to use the sight, right? A big dot sight, so if you look at these things, you got your shallow groove here, right there, and you got a little line here like an eye, and you just basically dot the eye. And these things are super fast to get on target. So let me go ahead and change these out, and I'll give you a follow-up about any little tips that pop up along the way. Chuck Norris doesn't turn the light on. He turns the dark off. Okay, there we go. So you've got the XS big dot sights installed on here now. Start to finish, from stock sights installed to XS big dots installed and ready to go, 11 minutes. And to be completely honest about it, at least 3 to 4 minutes of that was me being really OCD, trying to make sure this sight was exactly centered on my rail and really just trying to get it minutely. So I fiddled with it a lot, but so I'm gonna say 7 to 8 minutes, start to finish. And it was 100% easy and simple. No setup on the tool or anything like that. So if you've got a Glock pistol and you want to change the sights, this tool is absolutely the bomb. And it will work on any sight that'll push through there. I mean, all Glock sights are going to push on the same. So it doesn't have to be an XS sight, but I don't know why in the world you wouldn't put XS sights on, because these big dots are absolutely the best self-defense sights. And I've tried some other ones. These have been through Gunsight. These are brand new, but ones on my Glock 19 have been through Gunsight. They've been through Tactical Response. They've been through Thunder Ranch. They've been through some pretty dynamic training classes and some others that and they work fine. So not just fine, but they're very fast and they work good. So, and they are steel and they're made in the USA. So just rock solid sights. So that's the XS Inline Glock sight pusher and the XS DXV2 night sights. And like I said, I couldn't show you the installation, but XS Sights has some great installation videos on their website, so you can go over there and check it out. I can't tell you the website name, but it's XS Sights. You know, you can figure it out, right? So anyway, this is the bomb, I'm telling you. This thing is around 150 for this tool, and then they have a slightly bougier version that has basically just a different bolt in here is all I can see the difference. That's a little bit more money. They have packages that you can get sights with them, which you save some big money on your sights then. So anyway, just thanks to the folks at XS Sights for sending me this sight tool so I could show it to you in as much detail as YouTube will allow, and these sights, and for honestly just for making such great sights and being such great folks. Their customer service at XS Sights is excellent. The people there are excellent. They're all shooters. They're not just business people, and they're just really great folks over there. So anyway, that's it. As always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.